I think I have to be as smart as I want to be. I have to understand the risks, ask the right questions. But I'm a competitor. I want to play. I'm gonna do everything in my power to play, and that's just what it is. But I mean, I think the answer to that is dependent on who you ask.
The Indiana Pacers locker room fell dead silent after Game 5, but it wasn't the usual post-loss quiet. This was different. Players whispered anxiously as they watched their franchise cornerstone, Tyrese Haliburton, limp toward the training room with what would later be confirmed as a strained right calf. What happened next would shock the entire basketball world and reveal just how much this young superstar means to Indiana's championship dreams. With the Pacers' backs against the wall, facing elimination in Game 6 of the NBA Finals against Oklahoma City Thunder, Haliburton did something that left everyone speechless. Despite barely being able to walk, despite medical staff advising rest, despite every logical reason to sit out, Tyrese Haliburton broke his silence and made a declaration that sent shockwaves through the basketball community. Let's rewind to Monday night's Game 5 disaster. Haliburton left the game late in the first quarter, his right calf visibly bothering him. The training staff wrapped his lower leg, and for a moment, it looked like Indiana's season might be over right there. Coach Rick Carlisle even considered holding him out for the second half, a decision that could have saved Haliburton's health but potentially cost the Pacers their championship dreams. But here's where it gets incredible. Haliburton vetoed those plans. He demanded to return to the court, playing 17 minutes in the second half while clearly compromised. The result? He couldn't make a single field goal in 34 minutes, the first time in his career he'd played that long without scoring. Yet he still led the team in rebounds and assists after halftime, proving that even a hobbled Haliburton was better than most players at full strength. The medical reports painted a grim picture. Sources revealed to ESPN's Shams Charania that this wasn't just a minor tweak. This was a legitimate calf strain that had been building throughout the series. The same area that had bothered him since Game 2 was now screaming for rest. But Tyrese Haliburton had other plans. When reporters gathered around Haliburton after that crushing Game 5 loss, expecting to hear about rest and recovery, he delivered words that nobody saw coming. I mean, it's the NBA Finals. It's the finals, man, he said, his voice carrying a determination that cut through the disappointment. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete. But then came the statement that truly shocked everyone. If I can walk, then I want to play. Those 7 words encapsulated everything about Haliburton's character and sent a clear message to his teammates, the coaching staff, and the entire basketball world. This wasn't just about one game. This was about a franchise player refusing to let his team's championship dreams die on his watch. Head coach Rick Carlisle found himself in an unprecedented situation. His star player was basically telling him, "I'm playing whether you like it or not," while medical staff were recommending caution. In a radio interview with 107.5 The Fan, Carlisle revealed the internal struggle. We have to prepare for 2 scenarios, one where he plays and one where he does not. The coach admitted that Haliburton would be a game-time decision, likely listed as questionable on the injury report. But those close to the situation knew the truth. Barring a complete inability to move, Haliburton was going to find a way onto that court for Game 6. Carlisle's backup plan involved promoting TJ McConnell to a starting role, a move that made sense given McConnell's brilliant playoff performance. But even the coach seemed to understand that no substitution could truly replace what Haliburton brings to this team. What Haliburton revealed about his preparation for Game 6 was equally shocking. Massage, needles, hyperbaric, H-waves, everything you can do to get as comfortable as you can, he explained. This wasn't just a player getting some ice and hoping for the best. This was a full-scale medical intervention designed to get every possible minute out of a compromised superstar. The round-the-clock treatment regimen showed just how seriously both Haliburton and the organization were taking this moment. Hyperbaric chambers, acupuncture, electrical stimulation, no stone was being left unturned in the quest to get their leader ready for the biggest game in franchise history. Haliburton's declaration had immediate ripple effects throughout the organization. The merchandise sales for both the Pacers and the WNBA's Indiana Fever, boosted by Caitlin Clark's phenomenal rookie season, had already reached historic levels. As one executive noted, "It's impossible to prepare for something like this. We've been getting 1,000 orders per night online." The The parallel success of Clark and Haliburton had created an unprecedented surge in Indiana basketball fever. Both players were carrying their respective franchises on their backs, and both were dealing with the pressure of an entire state's championship hopes. This is where Haliburton's story becomes truly remarkable. Earlier in the season, he had made another declaration that caught everyone's attention. "We're in this together." Those words weren't just team-building rhetoric. They were a promise to a fan base that had waited decades for a championship. Indiana hasn't won an NBA title, and the Pacers have come heartbreakingly close multiple times. Haliburton understands that he's not just playing for statistics or personal accolades. He's playing for every fan who has waited their entire life to see Indiana basketball reach the mountaintop. What makes Haliburton's silence-breaking moment so shocking isn't just the injury or the stakes. It's the maturity and leadership he's showing at just 25 years old. This is a player who could easily take the safe route, protect his body, and live to fight another day. Instead, he's choosing to risk everything for one shot at history. The medical staff can wrap his calf, coaches can draw up contingency plans, and teammates can prepare to step up. But at the end of the day, Tyrese Haliburton has made his choice clear. He's not just the Pacers' best player, he's their heart and soul, and he's determined to give everything he has for Indiana's championship dreams. As Game 6 approaches, one thing is certain. Win or lose, Tyrese Haliburton has already cemented his legacy as a player who refused to back down when it mattered most. His shocking declaration has set the stage for what could be the most memorable game in Pacers history. If you're following this incredible finals run, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what happens next in Indiana's quest for glory.
Is the health of Tyrese Haliburton. With just under 7 minutes left in the first quarter of last night's game, as you can see here, he appeared to tweak the right leg injury that's been bothering him since Game 2. Now,
Tyrese Haliburton has just suffered a downfall that defies belief, and what's been exposed has left NBA observers across the country absolutely stunned. The Indiana Pacers star stands as one of the most dynamic playmakers in professional basketball, making his recent injury catastrophe particularly devastating to witness. The revelation involves not only his catastrophic calf strain during the NBA Finals, but also the complete destruction of his championship hopes, prompting the entire basketball community to finally acknowledge this systematic failure after witnessing one of the most crushing injury setbacks in Finals history. The context begins during Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where Haliburton was expected to lead the Pacers' championship pursuit at Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The All-Star guard recently faced the reality of suffering a right calf strain without contact and announced his intention to undergo an MRI to determine injury severity despite his team's desperate championship situation. This inflammatory injury escalated consequences, particularly when Haliburton appeared to get hurt while driving to the basket in the first quarter and briefly exited to the locker room before returning with visible discomfort. The NBA world has been following Haliburton's playoff brilliance for an extended period, recognizing what his leadership represents for the Pacers' unprecedented finals appearance. Haliburton has been key to the Pacers' unlikely deep playoff run, including multiple last-second shots throughout the postseason and the game winner in Game 1 of the finals, raising fundamental questions about championship destiny. Who exactly overcomes devastating injuries during the sport's biggest stage? The organization wants to ensure fans understand that even all-star caliber players face physical limitations through deliberate medical evaluation and strategic decision-making. The injury situation provides crucial context because Haliburton's calf strain cannot be viewed as simple minor setback or manageable discomfort. Haliburton serves as the heartbeat of Indiana's championship quest, implementing elite playmaking ability alongside clutch performance delivery that transforms role players into championship contributors. The guard designed his approach, encompassing 9.1 assists per game during the playoffs, 46.3% field goal shooting, and multiple game-winning performances that established him as the franchise's most important player during their historic postseason run. But wait, there is more. ESPN's Shams Charania recently revealed the medical assessment timeline in a particularly significant report that exposed the severity of Haliburton's condition. Indiana Pacers point guard, Tyrese Haliburton is believed to have suffered a right calf strain and will undergo an MRI to discover the severity. This comprehensive medical evaluation will determine both his immediate availability and long-term championship prospects. This systematic injury assessment exposes the Pacers' desperate situation, acknowledge their star players' physical limitations, evaluate medical options through advanced imaging, and maintain championship pursuit despite devastating setback, ultimately allowing Indiana to determine whether their finals hopes remain viable or face inevitable elimination. The performance decline during Game 5 demonstrates the devastating impact of Haliburton's injury on both individual statistics and team success. Despite logging 34 minutes, Haliburton struggled mightily, going 0 for 6 from the field and finishing with 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, representing his most underwhelming performance of the 2024-25 postseason. The Thunder defeated the Pacers 120-109 to take a 3-2 series lead, moving within one win of an NBA championship. The visible injury management throughout Game 5 reveals the extent of Haliburton's physical compromise. He returned to the bench in the second quarter with his calf wrapped, but eventually removed the wrap and played through the discomfort, demonstrating both his competitive determination and the injury's persistent impact on his mobility and effectiveness. The statistical context emphasizes how dramatically the injury affected Haliburton's typically elite performance. Through 21 playoff games, Haliburton averaged 17.9 points, 9.1 assists, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.3 steals, while shooting 46.3% from the field and 32.4% from three. His finals averages of 15.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, 7.2 assists per game, with 45.3% field goal shooting represents solid production until the Game 5 collapse. The championship timeline creates maximum pressure for Haliburton's recovery and return. Indiana now faces elimination and must win Games 6 and 7 to claim the title, with Game 6 tipping off Thursday in Indianapolis. The home court advantage provides optimal conditions for Haliburton's potential return, but his physical limitations could negate any environmental benefits. The competitive disadvantage facing Indiana without their star player extends beyond individual statistics to systematic team functionality. If Haliburton is limited or unavailable, the Pacers will be at a serious disadvantage against a Thunder squad that finished with the league's best record, 68-14, and has consistently dominated both ends of the floor throughout the playoffs. The mental toughness demonstration shows Haliburton's championship mindset despite devastating physical setback. It's the NBA Finals. It's the finals, man. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete, help my teammates any way I can, Haliburton declared after Game 5's disappointing performance. The competitive determination extends beyond simple desire to play through pain toward fundamental championship commitment. I was not great tonight by any means, but it's not really a thought of mine to not play here. If I can walk, then I want to play, Haliburton explained, emphasizing his willingness to sacrifice individual comfort for team success. The historical context makes Haliburton's injury particularly cruel given Indiana's unexpected championship opportunity. The Pacers' unlikely deep playoff run represents the franchise's best championship chance in decades, making any limitation to their star player exponentially more devastating than during a typical season. The clutch performance legacy creates additional emotional weight regarding Haliburton's injury impact. He's delivered multiple clutch performances to lift the Pacers throughout the playoffs, including crucial game-winning shots that established his reputation as a championship-caliber performer under maximum pressure. The medical uncertainty timeline creates mounting pressure as the series approaches its conclusion. The MRI results will determine not only his immediate availability, but also shape the team's strategy moving forward, forcing Indiana to prepare contingency plans while hoping for positive medical news. The season statistics demonstrate the consistent excellence that makes Haliburton's injury so devastating for Indiana's championship hopes. Through 73 regular season games, he averaged 18.6 points, 9.2 assists, 3.5 rebounds, and 1.4 steals while shooting 47.3% from the field, 38.8% from three, and 85.1% from the free throw line. The Olympic and All-Star recognition emphasizes Haliburton's elite status within professional basketball. The Olympian and two-time All-Star represents not just individual excellence, but international recognition of his exceptional abilities, making his finals injury particularly significant for global basketball audiences. The franchise pressure extends beyond individual player concerns to organizational championship legacy. Indiana's championship aspirations hinge on Haliburton's resilience and the effectiveness of his recovery process, creating systematic pressure throughout the organization to support their star players' return. The support system requirements become crucial for Haliburton's potential finals return. The focus will be on Haliburton's rehabilitation and the support he receives from his teammates and coaching staff, determining whether Indiana can maintain championship-level performance despite their star players' physical limitations. The elimination game pressure creates maximum stakes for Haliburton's medical decision-making. Facing elimination and needing consecutive victories transforms every medical choice into potential championship consequences, forcing careful balance between immediate competitive needs and long-term health considerations. The championship legacy implications extend beyond immediate finals results to career-defining moments. Haliburton's ability to overcome this injury could define not only his career, but also the legacy of the Pacers in this playoff run, making his recovery and return one of the most significant storylines in NBA Finals history. The resilience test facing Haliburton represents the ultimate professional challenge where physical limitations meet championship dreams, determining whether mental toughness can overcome devastating injury setbacks during basketball's most important moments. The NBA world exploded this weekend when insider reports confirmed what everyone suspected. Kevin Durant wants out of Phoenix. But here's the kicker. The Suns aren't playing ball with his demands. ESPN's Shams Charania said that Durant has compiled a three-team wish list,